the Jubilee Appeals Tribunal is set to deliver a ruling on the disputed Starehe nominations today. The verdict is likely to set the stage for a face-off between the incumbent Maina Kamanda and celebrated musician Charles Njagua, also known as Jaguar, ruling out a repeat exercise. But the dispute tribunal has dispensed 170 petitions filed by dissatisfied aspirants, dismissing 70 petitions. Let's go back to our senior political reporter, Chris Thairu, who is at the Jubilee Party headquarters here in Nairobi. Chris, among the famous or the biggest cases expected today are the Starehe, where Maina Kamanda faces off with Charles Njagua. But what are some of the cases we expect to be dealt with today as well?
Well, Akisa, that will be one of the main cases that Kenyans, of course, will be expecting to hear the verdict, since it is a matter that has actually been handled by the party in a way that most Kenyans really be watching on how they will be giving their verdict. Of course, but yesterday the chair of the disputes tribunal, that is Faith Waigwa, initially told us that she won't reveal to us some of the high cases that they have dispensed with, but she just told us the number. It's 170 that they've dispensed with, and they've dismissed 70 petitions, and they still have around 400 petitions to go. Remember, there were more than 500 petitions that they've been launched by different aspirants contesting the nominations that were concluded last week. And I'm joined by the Member of Parliament for All Kalau, that is David. And of course, during your nominations, someone filed a petition disputing your win in All Kalau for the All Kalau parliamentary seat. Just tell us what the tribunal has given the verdict, or what has been the outcome.
Yes, my competitor had filed a petition of which we personally appeared before the tribunal on 29th in the morning, and he had actually come up with quite a number of grounds. But unfortunate, most of the grounds, in fact, all of the grounds he had come up with, they were all falsehoods. But I appeared before the tribunal. I countered each and every issue he had brought up. And I do believe the panel of the members of the tribunal, I think there were 5 or 6 members. I think they were all lawyers, and I was very confident. Any one particular time, so long as you tell the truth and you present the truth will always prevail. So I presented all the issues I had, and the tribunal had it. They had asked us to come for the results yesterday, but I came this morning and I've received the verdict. And the verdict actually is in my favor, of which they have said I was actually the one who was elected lawfully, that is during the nominations. And in that trying, first and foremost, I would like to thank each and every member of All Kalau constituency for actually having exercised their constitutional right of coming up or choosing their leader of their choice. And I would want to advise my competitor. In politics, you don't dwell on lies, you don't dwell on propaganda. This is the same person, after the first exercise failed, is the same person who went around the constituency claiming that he had won by a big margin, confusing, and that by itself confused Wananchi. The final day when we went for the second voting, most people were convinced that it is true. He had actually carried the day in the first exercise, and definitely you can see that even affected my number of votes I got in the second exercise.
What were they accusing you of? What are some of these allegations that they were accusing you of?
Some of the allegations this gentleman was accusing that there are some police stations whereby more than one stream was created, and there were so many streams which were created. That is not me who was saying. We had a presiding officer, we had a returning officer, and that was purely for them to judge. If the number of people were many, it was for them to judge whether they would create 1 or 2. We have so many other streams which were created in areas whereby even maybe he got more votes than me. But that is one allegation he came up with. The other allegation he came up with, there is a place where people are tear gas. It is true. I do understand there is somewhere the mob were repulsed because they had to be 100 meters away from the polling station. But it is just logical, common sense. There is no way the policeman can target, because my people didn't have a uniform, because he was claiming that the police just targeted his agents. And we had my agents, we had his agents, we had the governor's agents, senator's agents, all the MC's agents were all in one room or different rooms. But when someone someone alleges that his agents were targeted by a tear gas canister, you can see that is something which just requires some bit of common sense to see it is pure lies. The other issue which I found very shocking is someone to claim that in a particular polling station a certain number of results were announced, whereas we had the P3, I think P3 form or something, and the returning officer clearly had that form, it had the correct number of votes which he announced, but this character went to the tribunal giving falsified figures. So most of the issues actually he came up with claiming that some areas that there was double voting. The issue is, how did he know that there were double voting? And even if there was double voting, how does he know maybe if there was double voting, those votes were not for him or for me?
When have they promised to you to give you the certificate, if at all you've now been clear to fly the Jubilee ticket?
I think the issue of the certificate, that's a party official, but I do understand it to be done at one go, most likely on Thursday, or that's on 7th, but we are waiting for that. But I think, at least I have now the clearance, clearly stating that the whole petition has been dismissed. So now we can look forward and start thinking of August, especially now massing votes for the president.
Okay. Thanks a lot, and we wish you the best even as you wait for the August the 8th. Well, that has been Member of Parliament for all Kalau, and as you correctly heard, it is that he has won that verdict. The verdict that has come out from the tribunal has been ruled in his favor, and he is assured that now he will be flying the Jubilee ticket come August the 8th. And I'm joined by the Member of Parliament for Nakuru West and Samuel Arama. Mheshimiwa, kindly tell us what transpired during the Jubilee nomination. We understand that you were flawed.
No, I was not. I won, and I won with the landslide majority. Why I'm here is because my opponents, they got together and they came here to say that I didn't win, and the case was done yesterday. I just came to walk around. I don't have any issue.
Have you appeared before the tribunal then? Have you been given that chance to appear before the tribunal?
Yes, I said my advocate yesterday, and I think they finished well. I'm sure everything will be well.
Okay. Okay, then
no
thanks.
problem.
Okay, well then we wish all the best. Well, that has been Samuel Arama, and he won, but of course he's facing a petition. Some of the aspirants filed a petition against him, indicating that he didn't actually use the correct ways to win that seat. And Kisa, behave of activities here at the Jubilee headquarters. Of course, so many aspirants and incumbent members of Parliament, and have the women rep for Nyandarua County. Mheshimiwa, have you appeared before the tribunal, or have you faced your accusers?
Not yet, but I've placed my appeal. I'm scheduled for tomorrow. I've just come to see what is going on. But I want to say that the few individuals in Jubilee House, the few staffs in Jubilee House want to bring a total mess to Jubilee Party, yet Jubilee intention, Jubilee Party leaders, Jubilee voters and supporters had all the positive intention to vote the candidates and the will of and their wishes to be done.
Okay. Okay, we wish you the best even as you appear before the tribunal. Well, that has been the women member of Parliament for Nyandarua County. Akisa, of course, let you give Kenyans some of the news that you have there before you come back to us, even as we wait for 5 p.m. when the disputes tribunal is expected to give that verdict for Starehe constituency. Akisa.
Chris,